I'll explain my increases as soon as you guys are ready. Does anybody do a decrease in budget? Just out of curiosity, now that you mentioned it.
It was close.
I was thinking,
Not necessarily decrease, but maybe
Same.
the same thing.
it was close.
Sure, I didn't drop any numbers or pick up any extras here.
Well, I hate this, but since I didn't bring my calculator, you know, I have to use this stupid cell phone calculator. Drives me crazy.
20.6%.
You already did the calculation
What's
for
that,
him, so.
24?
20.6. Salary and wages. What's in there?
Pardon me?
What's in there? What?
There's 10 staff members, 2 are part-time.
And aren't you trying to get some increases?
Yes, I am.
No new position, just increases.
Right, correct. And that's why I gave you the GATO right now. My staff members are amazing, but it's getting harder and harder to keep up, especially with the tax assessors, girls making more money than the tax commissioner's office's staff does. We touch every piece of property just like they do, every one of them, for one reason or another. And then on top of property, we have all the motor vehicle, which is probably over 50% of our day dealing with motor vehicle. Motor vehicle stuff is getting harder and harder, and it's not changing. It's just getting more and more difficult as they add stuff to our workload. All my girls wanted me to say thank you to all of you for the hazard bonus checks. We were shut down. Charlie shut the courthouse down for 3 days, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I had staff members in here on Wednesday and Thursday, and the only reason I didn't have staff members in the office on Friday was because Charlie said I could not. So we never shut down.
We
We were
don't
here.
poison them with
We were here every day.
what was going
Cleaning
on.
stuff.
So,
The
The
sanitizing.
sanitizing, the deep cleaning. So, and as you can see from my GATO worksheet that they have typed up, just how difficult the stuff for training is getting to be for my employees. The next big thing, increase on my budget, was the hosting, which is under the professional services.
And what is that?
We have an AS400 server that we've been using. That's an antique, and Charlie's kind of the one that requested that we go to hosting, so everything's out of the office. And
Is
I
it
don't
like
have to maintain it.
cloud-based?
Yes, it's all cloud-based.
This was part of our efforts to insulate ourselves from the ransomware. The
12
AS400 was just not an accident, but a proper way to happen.
Yeah, I mean,
$12,000 increase in that.
yes. And I've got the documents for all that if you need to see them.
Back to salaries a minute. What's your lowest paid person making?
I hired my girls in at $9 an hour, I believe, is the last increase I've had. So,
$9.
$9 an hour. Which is, you know, I mean, you can hire in at McDonald's now for almost $15 an hour, or Walmart for $15 an hour. And some of my girls have been here longer than I have and are hardly making that.
I think we had already, on my employee spreadsheet that I got, that I gave you, we had, when you and I talked, we had already calculated in the increases, but even with the increases, it looks like her highest paid person is, at $22 an hour, and that person has been here for,
Longer than me.
yeah, years and years and years. The lowest paid is at $12.75.
That's the new numbers.
The new,
The new numbers, yes.
Is that,
that's what
Actually, this
figure
reflected
here.
in that
Yes.
number, yeah.
It is. So, and as you guys all know, you've worked with me long enough, I try my dangest to stay within my budget. We work very diligently to make sure that we try and stay at a 99% collection rate. So, I'd like to continue to do that, and I'd like to continue with some staff members and some new hires, or let the girls know how much we appreciate the work that they do, and keep them updated on all the new training and stuff that comes available from the Department of Revenue and the motor vehicle side of everything. Just, David Clark, I believe, talked to you, Charlie, about my budget and about my salary lines and how hard and how difficult it is, especially dealing with the tax sale and the excess funds. I've got over $500,000 in excess funds right now that takes most of my day to deal with that stuff all the time. David would really like me to assign a particular person for excess funds, but I just don't have the manpower and the staffing to do that. So it's been left up to me. So I spend a lot of time here when I shouldn't be here. Any questions for me?
When they break a conservation covenant, how is that being to
It's not normally. When we do a breach of covenant, the bill is usually at least 3, 4, 5, or 6 years worth of billing. So, and they end up all with the same due date. So depending on the customer and their situation, if they need extended time, I will delay some of those payments and change the due date so they're not all due at the same time. And then the next thing is if they don't pay, they go up for tax sale.
Just wondered what that procedure was.
Everything comes from the, the tax assessors give me ENRs to do all those, so all the breach of covenants and all the ENRs that are done come from the tax assessor's office. Bless you. We got ENRs Friday, and there was over 100 of them. And the customers are already in the office wanting to know when the new bills are gonna be out, and I'm like, listen, we just got them. We just got the ENRs Friday. Well, they told me this was done in August. I said, well, I hate to tell you, but I don't know when they did it, but we just got the information today. So as soon as we can process 100 ENRs, we will send you a bill in the mail. We give you an extra 60 days to pay, so you're not late, because it's normally an increase, or it's because they filed an appeal and they were flagged in the original bills that went out for 2021. If they're appealed, they only go out at 85%. So whether the bill increases or doesn't increase, they still owe that remaining 15%. So we still have to rebill.
The TVAC, administrative fee expenditure, what is that?
Which one?
The
TABT.
TABT.
That's the TABT. We collect TABT tax money from Motor Vehicle Division. All the new titles that are processed. Anytime a title is processed now, the law changed a few years back. We have to collect title ad valorem tax at the time of registration. So anytime a title is changing, they have to pay, I believe it's 6.6% now, of the fair market value that the Department of Revenue sets on the vehicles. And that's the collection, and we get, the office is supposed to get 1% of that. Is that correct number, Cindy?
That's what that admin fee is the 1%.
And the 1% is my admin fee that
Well, why is
we
the
get.
expenditure?
Because it's hers to spend. There's a line, there's a revenue line as well on the TABT admin. When you get those revenues, you'll see that. So it's in the revenue and then it's in the expenditure because it's her money to spend how she sees fit for her
Okay.
office.
Here's a breakdown of the admin fees. This is what we collected. This is my portion, the 1%. and I normally don't spend all that in my office. So this is used for bonus checks in my office
Bonus to it.
for the staff members that handle motor vehicle.
So you
I'm
can-
allowed to use my 1% in my office as I see fit.
So the salary we're talking about here,
Is an hourly salary update for the
is
staff
not
members.
necessarily what that person gets during the year. They get more than that.
They get their bonus checks
What do you do, those quarterly?
quarterly.
How much?
And the biggest one is $300.
The max anybody's gonna get is $1,200.
Right. And we've collected over 17,000 already, so the county gets the majority of that too. So,
We appreciate you letting us have it.
thank you. I try not to, you know, do what?
I don't have anything else.
Wow.